Hey guys, Lamonster here from Lamonster Garage, and we have a revised video of our floorboard risers for the new RT 2020, 2021. Sea to Sky, Limited, whatever you got, as long as it's a 2020 above, it's going to work. So this effectively lifts the floorboard up 1.5 inches. This is our little bracket. We're going to do an install and show you. The reason this is a revised video is we ran into a little issue that we didn't see before because ours wasn't a problem, but I'll show you why once we got quite a few sets out there. We've had 2 customers so far that have called and said, hey, I got this going on, and so we just changed our hardware so we'll never have that problem again, but I'll show you why. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. You are going to have a little bit bigger gap right here because this is spacing out. That's normal. I'll hold this up after I put it off, but yeah, this is going to space it out. I'll show you why the gap's there. I added it to the video because people asked about it. Said, hey, is this supposed to be out? Well, yeah, when you shim it out, it's going to be farther away from the bike. It's minimal, as you can see, but anyway, if you notice the way the brake pedal is now and where it is, so when we raise this floorboard up, it's going to be the equivalent of dropping the floorboard down. One thing that we notice right away is it makes it a real nice, easy transition from the floorboard to the brake pedal. We have kits for the F3 that actually lower the brake pedal, and then I'm gonna show you something else that's wrong on the internet and why it's wrong. But some people think you can clock the spline on this to lower it, but you can't, and I'll show you why. So anyway, I will go ahead and remove these bolts. So you got these bolts here. There's a mount here, here, and here, and you're actually going to reuse these bolts. And so I'll go ahead and pop this off. And I cheated. They're already loose. So if yours didn't come out this easy, that's because mine's been off a few times. So this is, we have a riser product line for this bike. It just happened to be that way, but we have a brake pedal riser, and we have a handlebar riser, and then this is our floorboard riser. So whoever they modeled this after was not short, and it didn't really allow for short people to ride comfortable. And this really works. You don't even have to be short to appreciate this. It works fine for guys 5'11", 5'10". I'm 5'10". All right, so how this is going to work. So basically, this is one of the blocks. You got a big block here. You got a short block here. Short block goes like so. Big block here. And if you notice on the, oh, I knocked the light. If you notice, this has an offset. So this is going to go towards the bike. And the reason being, if you look, this is that gap I was telling you about. So this is as tight as we can get this, which creates a little gap here. Doesn't hurt anything, just it is what it is. So you take this piece here, make sure you're going to bolt it up to the floorboard first. And so you take your floorboard, and we'll go ahead and run on the top bolts. You're going to want to use these plated bolts with the washer on these. Just run it through the floorboard. Started. Same thing here. here's what it's looking like here. So if your floorboard looks like this is pointing towards the bike. And we're just gonna snug it up, take the slop out of it, but we'll come back and tighten everything once we get it bolted up. And this is a 8mm Allen. And so the one bolt that you're going to get that's different than all the other ones is this 10mm here that's a hex head. And that one is there because of what I was telling you about the brake. So once again, and you want to put this one on without a washer. Basically what we're trying to do is shorten up this. With the head of the Allen, it just barely touches on some bikes on the brake. And I'll show you why it barely touches. And if you want to know what size socket it is, it's 17mm. Like I say, and this one spins, so you're going to move it where it goes after install. Okay, so the reason that we didn't see a problem before is if you look at this shaft, ours is out a little bit. If it's in at all, that's where you run into where it just barely contacts right about here on the brake. You can loosen this up if you like, pull it out a little bit, that'll give you some clearance. And then also, if you look at this right here, this is why you can't just clock this, because they actually took one tooth out, and that makes it so this will only fit on the shaft one way. So you can't turn that. Like if you wanted to lower this brake pedal, you can't just pull it out, turn it, and then put it back on. And it's because it's like a keyway on a motor, so that kind of limits what you can do with it. So now that you got this up, this is your stock bolts that you just took out. I'll go ahead and want to run those through. Spin this down. Make sure they thread in easy. You don't want to cross thread these. Okay. And then this last one, you spin that where it goes. Run that in. And I'll go ahead and snug these all up, and then I can kind of show you what's going on here with the brake. And for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna snug these up a little bit, but you need to come back and crank them down. So good and tight, that's the torque spec. So basically, here's why we changed this out. And the Allen head with a washer, on some of the brakes, it was hit just barely right there. So now we're replacing this bolt here. If you have the old style hardware, you can either remove the washer there. If you look at it and say, oh, I'll be darned, it is barely touching there. You can remove the washer. That'll probably give you enough clearance. That's what customers have told me. You can also loosen this and just pull it out just a little bit, and that will give you some clearance too. But yeah, just crank it all back down and that's it. So super easy install. Now if you look at the brake pedal, now see how much lower it is, which is not really lower, it's the boards are higher. So it's just a real comfortable position. It's real easy to slide your foot on it. Plenty of room there. And also, if you're curious, our brake pedal riser will still work. It just comes up. So the only thing I'm not sure of, which I think is going to be fine, is the new show chrome wider brake pad. It looks like I'm going to have plenty of room for that too, but they're not really out yet, so we don't have them in hand to try. But that's it, guys. And you can find this on lamonstergarage.com, and just look under the 2020 RT. And like I say, it will fit 2020 RT, 21, all the models, and should be good to go. That's it.